SV Math Teach here with Easy Algebra 2, going over the beginnings of Chapter 2 on relations and functions. Now these are all from Algebra 1, so let me remind you of some of these vocabulary pieces. A relation is a set of ordered pairs. They can be represented a variety of ways. The domain are the x values in that relation. If it's an ordered pair, it's the first number. The ranges are the y values in a relation. Those would be the second numbers in an ordered pair. And a function is a special kind of relation where each domain has one and only one range. You might recall something about the vertical line test that you learned in Algebra 1. Well, two quick questions that they might ask in this first section. Determine if this relation is a function, and if so, what's the domain and range? Well, let's start out with this. The domain are going to be the first values, and it's also going to be the thing that I look at to determine whether this thing is a function or not. And you might notice that I have a number 4 here and a number 4 here. Well, that in and of itself isn't a problem. The problem is that the 4 on the left is partnered with a 0. The partner on the right, the 4 is partnered with a 7. So what I have is an x value or a domain value that has more than one range value paired with it. So this is already not a function. All right, that would break the vertical line test. It breaks the rule for function. Now, I'm going to take this out because that doesn't really apply to the second piece, which is what the domain and the range are. So the domain is just a list of numbers that come first. So 4, 10, 0, -1. And I'm not going to list the 4 again. So the domain is that set of numbers. The order doesn't really matter so much. And the range is going to be your second set of numbers. So I could probably do that here, if I can nail it, just by moving the arrows over. These will be the ranges. So let's list them out. 0, 2, there's another 2. I'm not going to list it twice. There's a 3, and there's a 7. All right, so there we go. So it's not a function. It's a domain of 4 numbers and a range of 4 numbers as well. Second kind of question is, what if we give you the function rule? The function rule is up here. What if we give you the function rule and ask you to evaluate for certain values of x? So this is what it looks like. I'm going to zoom way in here. So f of x or f of 3, so that just means put the 3 in the x spot. So 2/5 times 3 minus 4. So that's going to be 6/5 minus 4. That's going to be 1.2 minus 4. That's going to be -2.8, right? So you could leave that as a fraction as well if you prefer. F of 30, so 2/5 of 30 minus 4. So 5 goes into 36 times. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. And let's do f of -5. So 2/5 of -5 minus 4. So 5 goes into 5 once. So -1 times 2 is -2 minus 2 minus 4 is -6. So if I wanted to clean this up, I might say f of 3 is -2.8. F of 30 is 8. And f of -5 is -6.